Uh, Good evening, friends.
Good evening, sir.
We'll wait for 2 minutes. 6, 7, 8 people are there. Yeah. Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Is Nandana there? Right, she's there, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. You can start, Nandana.
Okay. So the first question is take any subject you like to make a documentary on, right? Brief background and the need for such documentary. The statement you want to make through the documentary in one sentence. Audience intended, at least 3 points that should be included in the documentary. If you think some interviews on the camera are in need, who should it be? And give 2 questions to be asked. The documentary speaks about the mesmerizing world where art meets strategy, dissecting the visual allure that turns pixels into influential storytellers, shaping the way we perceive products, brands, and ultimately the world of advertising. The aim is to dwell into intricate art and science of persuasion in advertising, exploring the dynamic role that visual plays in influencing consumer behavior. Sorry. Through in depth analysis and real world examples, the documentary aims to unravel the secrets behind creating visually compelling content that captivates audiences, fosters brand loyalty, and drives successful advertising campaigns. Heightened awareness of the power embedded in pixels and a deeper understanding of the delicate dance between art and persuasion in the ever evolving world of advertising. The objective is to provide insights for marketers, advertisers, and the general audience, shedding light on the persuasive power embedded in perfect imagery. Questions to the talking heads. Branding or marketing specialist. Uh, can you think of a time when you made a purchase solely because of a persuasive advertising technique? What role does storytelling play in effective persuasion, and why are we so drawn to narratives? Ad filmmaker. How do you identify and address the needs and desires of the target audiences to effectively persuade them? How do you decide which emotions to evoke in an ad to connect with the audience effectively?
Yeah. So basically, it's a 5.5 part question. Um, you have uh, you have given a brief background and probably the need for such a documentary. And what is the statement that you want to make?
It's the awareness of power embedded in pixels and
Yeah. When you say power embedded in pixel, what do you mean?
that is the visuals or ads. Ads, I'm just using other phrases for ads.
Okay, okay, okay. And then which is a C1 audience intended. Yeah, that's clear.
Yeah.
And then C, D,
I
D.
think I missed the 3 point.
Yeah. So what
Yeah,
are the three points that you would want to include? So there was something missing in this, and this is it.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
correlate it. So
Hmm.
what would your documentary entail? Of course, you explained the broad premise of it, but what are the three specific points that you would want to address?
Uh, I think it's briefed here, but it will be mainly about the first thing. If I'm getting an ad filmmaker, it would be all about his actual process and the kind of conversations they have with the brand, and what actually goes behind before it comes to the television or any kind of ad platform. Then it would be visuals and asking people, like I mentioned, real time real world examples. I would probably conduct experiments with general consumers and get their perspective, and kind of align it with what happens behind the camera.
What sort of experiments?
So I could play various ads for them and see their reaction, and whether how much it persuades them into buying. And some of the I could ask them some of the key aspects of an ad that influenced them into buying or attracted them.
Okay, so 2 points you have solid 2 points. One is the
Yeah,
process of an ad filmmaker.
yeah,
You could show that process or something like that. And the
yeah,
second is experiments with the consumers
yeah,
by showing them some
yeah,
advertisement and then figuring it out. What is the third
yeah.
point? Third point.
It would mostly deal with the marketing strategists, sir. Like they're an outsider who can view all this and give their judgments and comments. So I would dwell into more of their perspective.
So marketing. So yeah,
Yeah,
these 3 points. There was something missing in this, and the conversation that we have right now. These 3 points, if you had added it, it would have been a little bit wholesome proposal for a documentary. You know,
yeah,
this gives the meat. The 3 points that you added right now gives the meat to the write up. So we get an idea, a fair idea of what could be the documentary. Clear? So that was missing, and then I think we could
yes, sir.
improve upon that. You would go for the
Yeah,
second one.
yes. With examples, state the importance of surprise and suspense in storytelling. Surprise and suspense hold immense significance in cinema, acting as pivotal tools that deeply engage audiences within the narrative fabric of several acclaimed films. An exemplary embodiment of this lies in the movie Rajsasan, directed by Ram Kumar. The storytelling follows a fledgling police officer entangled in a harrowing investigation of brutal murders. Throughout the film, unforeseen plot twists and unexpected revelations keep viewers on tenterhooks. The surprise element takes center stage with the shocking revelation of the antagonist's true identity, altering the audience's perception of the entire story. The suspense is meticulously crafted, building up tension that crescendos into a gripping climax, ensuring viewers remain riveted. Another striking illustration can be found in Vikram Veda, directed by Pushkar Gayatri. This crime thriller orchestrates a captivating cat and mouse game between a cop and a notorious gangster. The film masterfully employs surprise by subverting anticipated character dynamics, blurring the lines between protagonist and antagonist. By strategically withholding pivotal information until crucial junctures, the suspense is prolonged, intensifying the audience's anticipation and curiosity. Tyagarajan Kumararaja's Aranyakandam stands out for its intricate storytelling set against the Chennai underworld. The film intricately interlaces multiple storylines that unexpectedly converge. Surprise elements manifest through revelations of character motivations and loyalties, constantly keeping the audiences in suspense and leaving them guessing until the climatic conclusion. The nonlinear narrative intensifies suspenses, fostering tension and intrigue throughout. These films skillfully utilize surprise to not just shock, but also to challenge conventional storytelling norms, compelling audiences to continually reassess character perceptions and narrative trajectories. Meanwhile, suspense serves as a cornerstone in maintaining audience interest and curiosity. In Pisasa, directed by Mishkin, suspense creates an eerie atmosphere, heightening tension. Through calculated revelations or strategic concealment of information, the film ensures viewers remain on the edge, amplifying the impact of pivotal moments and enriching the overall cinematic experience. The essence of surprise and suspenses in Tamil cinema is pivotal, delivering not only entertainment but also pushing boundaries. These elements profoundly impact the storytelling experience, with filmmakers leveraging unexpected twists and sustained suspense to craft narratives that resonate long after the film ends. By deftly weaving surprise revelations and sustaining suspense, filmmakers elevate storytelling to an immersive and impactful level, leaving an indelible mark on the audience's psyche.
So the two aspects that we're dealing with, surprise and suspense,
Yes.
embodiment. What are your examples for surprise?
I've used Ratsasan and yeah,
Ratsasan and Vikram Veda, right?
Vikram Veda.
Yeah.
Veda.
Since you are just 330 words,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit, a line or two more on, maybe a line more on how Ratsasan works, the surprise element of Ratsasan works in giving some specifics. Now, we have written storyline follows a fledgling police officer entangled in a horror investigation of brutal murders. Throughout the film, unforeseen plot twists and unexpected revelations keep viewers on tenterhooks. You know?
Yeah.
So after that, probably one example of that, one specific example
Scene
of
or okay.
what is the maybe a line or so, since you have the leverage, leverage of, so that could have been a better more rounded off, since the same thing with Vikram Veda. We have generally the film masterfully employs surprise by subverting anticipated character dynamics, blurring the lines between protagonist and antagonist. This is a generic statement. So one line here also, how it actually works, the surprise element actually works. Could have been given some hook to the act. So the third, so is a case of the third one. You could have chosen, maybe you could have just stuck to two and then given a bit of detail of the two. That's a choice that you make basically.
Okay.
So then, same is the case with what is a film that you use for
Pisasu.
Pisasu. So same in the cases, eerie atmosphere. No. So what is the suspense? What precisely is the suspense in that film? That was a little bit missing in the
Okay.
yeah. So if you had done that, probably it would have been more rounded.
So I should have elaborated on the films more, like the story or a scene.
What is the actual suspense there, or what is the actual surprise there? Maybe a line or half a line or one line or two lines or whatever. So if you think that elaboration would have increased your 500 words, instead of 3 examples, give 2, but dwell on the 2. So that could be a better option.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go for the third.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
OTT is the future of entertainment industry. Discuss the statement with your opinion for or against the same. The emergence of over-the-top OTT platforms has fundamentally transformed the entertainment landscape by offering a diverse range of content accessible at viewers' convenience. However, determining whether these platforms exclusively signify the future of the entertainment industry necessitates a comprehensive analysis from multiple perspectives. There's a compelling argument supporting the notion that OTT platforms are primed to dominate the entertainment sphere. Their allure stems from the convenience they provide, granting audiences access to plethora of content anytime and anywhere, transcending geographical barriers. These platforms cater to varied tastes by presenting an extensive array of content genres and languages, making entertainment more inclusive and easily reachable. For instance, Netflix's global expansion and diverse sorry, content library have redefined how audiences consume entertainment. Their original series like Stranger Things and The Crown have garnered global acclaim, showcasing the platform's ability to cater to diverse viewer preferences and transcend geographical boundaries. Additionally, OTT platforms have democratized content creation and distribution. They act as a platform for storytellers from diverse backgrounds to showcase their work without being hindered by traditional gatekeepers. This openness has led to the creation of diverse, nuanced content that might have struggled for exposure in conventional media. Sorry. Amazon Prime Video is another example, boasting a blend of global and local content. Its Indian original series like Mirzapur and The Family Man have resonated with audiences, demonstrating the platform's commitment to diverse storytelling. The personalized experience facilitated by OTT platforms further solidifies their appeal. Through data driven algorithms, these platforms offer tailored content recommendations, enhancing your experience and enabling creators to effectively target specific audience segments. However, the future of entertainment might not exclusively pivot on OTT platforms. Traditional mediums like theaters and broadcast television continue to hold significance. The communal experience of watching a blockbuster film in theater or enjoying live events on television retains its unique charm that OTT platforms struggle to replicate. Furthermore, concerns regarding oversaturation and content quality control persist within OTT platforms. The vast volume of available content often poses challenges for exceptional content to gain visibility amidst the multitude of options. Additionally, the absence of stringent censorship or regulations might impact content quality and standards. Moreover, the sustainability of current OTT model raises questions. While subscription-based services dominate, the viability of sustaining numerous platforms concurrently remains uncertain. The competitive landscape might witness consolidation or shifts in business models, potentially altering the existing dynamics. In my perspective, OTT platforms represent a significant evolution in entertainment, offering convenience, diversity, and accessibility. They've redefined content creation and audience engagement. However, labeling them as the sole future of entertainment overlooks the enduring appeal of traditional mediums and the challenges OTT platforms confront, such as oversaturation and quality control issues. The future of entertainment will likely embrace a hybrid model harnessing the strengths of both OTT platforms and traditional mediums. Achieving a balance between accessibility, high quality content, and immersive experiences will be pivotal. Innovations bridging the digital and physical realms will shape the evolving entertainment landscape.
I think this is a fairly detailed um, take on the OTT platform, and by and large you have covered all the aspects of it.
Yeah.
So you have not gone either way. I mean, you have taken, you have gone, I mean, you are calling for it. You are confident that there is going to be a
Hybrid model.
hybrid model. So what actually will happen? Only the future will be able to tell you. But you have a point of view in this, which I think is fair enough. This is a well-rounded 496 word.
So the question they've specifically mentioned for or against, but I have,
no issue.
done.
No, yeah. So it should not be an issue. It should not be an issue.
Okay.
You're analyzing things and what the question says, OTT is the future of entertainment. Discuss it. Discuss the statement.
Yeah.
With your opinion for or against it. we have discussed it. There is an opinion. There is an opinion, and that opinion can't be yes or no. You know,
Okay.
it can't be in a binary
Yes.
as per you,
Yeah.
which is
Yes.
fair enough. I see some original thinking here. Yeah,
Yeah.
good. Except for some things like gatekeepers. You talked about gatekeepers, no?
Ha ha ha.
So what exactly are these gatekeepers? We could have probably little bit one gatekeepers like something,
Okay.
distributors, traditional
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Yeah.
A
Hmm.
couple of explanation like that could have been better. Yeah,
Okay.
good. This is a fair enough. Good one. We'll go for the
Okay.
fourth one. Next one.
Yes. Yes. Television is a medium of close-up. Discuss the statement with relevant examples. Television stands out as a medium that excels in bringing viewers up close to the emotions and actions portrayed through effective use of close up shots. This particular characteristic has wielded a substantial influence on storytelling, audience engagement, and emotional connections in the realm of Indian entertainment. A striking attribute of Indian television is its adeptness in capturing intimate moments and intricate emotions through the art of close up shots. Shows such as Balika Vadu, renowned for its exploration of sensitive social issues, expertly utilized through close up shots to convey the nuanced emotions of its character. This close proximity of the camera lens allowed audiences to forge a deeper connection with the characters, resulting in a more immersive and emotionally resonant viewing experience. Moreover, the realm of daily soap operas, famously known as Saas Bahu serials, has mastered the use of close up shots to amplify drama and intensify emotions. Iconic shows like Kyuki, Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi, and Kahani Gar Gar Ki strategically employed close up shots during pivotal moments, showcasing the subtlest expressions and reactions of characters, effectively drawing audiences further into intricacies of the character. Reality television in India has also embraced the power of close ups to capture the raw emotions of contestants, thereby intensifying drama and suspense. Shows like Big Boss and Indian Idol frequently leverage close up shots to showcase the genuine emotions, creating a more immersive experience for viewers and enabling them to feel deeply connected to the contestants' journeys. Beyond scripted programming, talk shows and news broadcasts capitalize on close up shots during interviews or discussions to highlight emotions, reactions, and expressions. These shots add depth to conversation, emphasizing the sincerity or intensity of the discourse and enabling viewers to grasp the subtle lies within. The subtle that lies within. Yeah. In the realm of sports broadcasting, close-up shots plays a pivotal role in capturing the emotional spectrum of athletes, be it the elation following a goal in football or the disappointment of a missed opportunity in cricket. These shots not only bring audiences closer to the action but also humanize the players, fostering a more relatable and engaging sports watching experience. Technological advancements have significantly contributed to the enhancing impact of close up shots in Indian television. The advent of high definition and 4K cameras has elevated the quality of these shots, enabling viewers to witness intricate facial expressions and emotions with remarkable clarity. Furthermore, the surge of streaming platforms in India has amplified the importance of close up shots in storytelling. Shows like Sacred Games and Mirzapur on platforms such as Netflix and Amazon Prime Video skillfully utilize close ups to heighten tension and enrich narrative depth, contributing to a more immersive and captivating viewing venture. In summation, Indian television has effectively harnessed the power of close up shots to create intimacy, evoke emotions, and establish a profound connection between the viewers and the content. From daily soaps to reality shows, news broadcasts to sports coverage, the utilization of close up shots has been instrumental in enhancing the audience's proximity to the emotions and experiences depicted on screen, thus elevating the overall viewing encounter.
Yeah. So, like I said last time,
Mhm.
this television is a medium of close-up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, this could as well be, if you replace television and put cinema there, this would still hold. Give examples of cinema. This would
Mhm.
still hold. Now, probably one should think of, and most of you have not done that with this question, is why is medium of close-up necessary for television? Why is it? That question? I think nobody has addressed. I think all of you should start thinking about. See, this could be an 500 words essay on a close-up, effective use of close-up with examples of television.
Yeah.
Replace the example of television with the cinema, it will
Yeah.
still work. So
Yeah.
I think the thought process should be, why is the close-up necessary for television? If at all it is necessary. I think all of you should start thinking on those lines.
Mm.
You know. So
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. And you're getting what I'm saying? It's a
Yes, sir.
generic essay on close-ups.
So, but
If
again,
you
the statement was very short and open, so maybe that's why it's not.
yeah, so yeah, it's this yeah, television is a medium of close-up. You could agree, you could not agree.
So we are trying to justify that statement. So that is
Yes,
why maybe we are telling about the all the possibilities of close-ups.
exactly. It's a close-up
Mm.
the possibility. You are giving the possibility of close-up. It is
Yeah.
in fact all of you are demonstrating this line.
Yeah,
You're giving a
exactly.
demonstration of this
Yeah.
line.
Yeah.
So you could as well say, okay, the why. For example, why in Kyuki Saski Bahuti, why is this close-up necessary? Of course, which is specific for television and
Yeah.
and OTT platform. That I think
Mm.
none of you have done it. It's a very
Mhm.
tricky kind of a thing answer, but then you should be going a little bit of depth. All of you,
Okay.
clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Aditya is Aditya.
Hello. Hello,
Hi,
sir.
Aditya. Hi.
Good
Shall
evening,
we?
sir.
Good evening, Aditya. Shall we start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. बैकग्राउंड से सर नॉइज आ रही है क्या?
वो अभी अभी नहीं आ रही है ना?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay.
हाँ,
So,
वो
sir,
सब
question.
सबको बोल दे चुप.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, yes, sir.
कोई नहीं. Start.
Question number one. Take any subject you like to make a documentary on. Write brief background and the need for such documentary. The statement you want to make through this documentary in one sentence. Just a second. Audience and audience intended. At least 3 points should be included in the documentary. If you think some interviews are needed, who it should be, and give 2 questions to be asked. So, sir, just a second. Yes, sir. So, brief background and the need for such documentary. Misinterpretation of feminism is the topic in hand. To observe the reasons that led to the rise of feminism, glaring issues in the society that misuses feminism and threats the survival of culture and feminism itself as well. Feminism was born to uplift the status of women in patriarchal societies that have been existing since the dawn of humanity, arguably. Men control most wealth, assets, and power in the society, and women were dependent on men for survival, while the roles as caretakers and childbearers isn't compensated for fairly. More so, oppression and abuse led to rise of feminism, but in modern day age, name of feminism has actively been misused to promote antisocial behaviors and not in favor of societies at large. What is the core of feminism, and does modern feminism still abide by it? For example, misuse of power in the name of feminism to defame men or make material gains reflect badly, even though it is not what feminism stands for. The statement you want to make through this documentary in one sentence. Feminism is being misused in modern day, which affects society and progression of women negatively. Audience intended. All the youth population must be aware of what feminism truly stands for. Hence, young boys and girls are the target audience. At least 3 points that should be included in the documentary. The birth of feminism, why it was born, and what it stood for. What progress it intended to bring for women and society at large. Misinterpretation of feminism as unchecked liberty for women at expense of societal norms. The consequence of this misuse of feminism, weakening the true purpose of the movement, harming the progress of women and society at large. As such, question 3: if you think some interviews on camera are needed, who should give it, and questions to be asked. 2 questions to be asked. The people who understand the essence of feminism for the upliftment of women from being second-class citizens to equal to men in terms of opportunities and rights, preferably a woman who herself fought for the idea. Also, women who are abused and need feminism to uplift them are good candidates for interviewing. Question number 1. What is feminism for you? Question number 2. What changes do you seek in society for upliftment of the condition of women?
Yeah. So, by and large, as I told others also, this is by and large in a generic mode.
Yes, sir.
For example, if you had given the other yesterday, there was this documentary on psychological issues, and there was a specific example of one character, Deepika Padukone, and her. So
Yes, sir.
this proposal misses that particularness. Although you have said here, people who understand the essence of feminism, upliftment of women from being, and they should be these sort of people should be there in the film. Would be there in the film. Now,
Yes, sir.
if you had given specific examples, no, that would have been enhanced the whole quality of the.
Yes, sir.
You could have given that.
Yes,
So
sir.
that was missing. So anyone could have the other basic comment that I would like to make is, what do you mean by this misinterpretation of feminism as unchecked liberty for women at the expense of societal norms? Because the reason I'm saying is, because of societal norms, there is this issue of discrimination. So an example of what is an example of this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can give an example. For example, sir, it is usually a fight between conservatism and liberty that goes on every time and age as we move forward. Misuse of feminism, as I may give examples for, is using being female as something to actually victimize themselves or hurt men, for example, is one example. And unchecked liberty, by that I meant, for example, is young girls may actually be blackmailing their parents in terms of okay, you are not giving me this freedom, and as in not adhering to societal norms. For example, I am an advocate of school uniforms. So in general, school uniforms is something that is generally a norm and must be obeyed because it is an institution you are serving at. But I've seen some girls repelling against it and going their own way just to garnish some attention, or I don't know, for whatever reason it may be. But it is the breakage of rules for the sake of liberty, which is actually just which is not in the favor of the progress of society.
I understand what you're trying to say, but examples that you're giving is nothing to do with feminism.
That is my point, that it has nothing to do with feminism, but because people say these things in the name of feminism, it tarnishes the reputation of what feminism truly stands for. Then the conservatives get an idea, okay, now we can shame feminism for this, but this is not what actually feminism stands for.
So there, I think you have to think a little bit more in depth about.
Yeah, sir. It must have been in detail about what kind of issues that basically pseudo-feminism that I was trying to highlight in this stand is actually.
There are people who say there is nothing called pseudo-feminism, right?
Yes, sir. I realize that.
You should also dwell on that before making such.
Yes, sir.
These are broad statements.
Yes, sir. That is why I didn't state that. Yes, sir. That is why I didn't use that word.
It comes across, right?
Yes, sir.
But it comes across when you basically this line, misuse of feminism, right? I mean,
so there are always norms that must be obeyed, and that is, I guess, well accepted.
That is true without the gender issue involved. So little bit thought is necessary.
Yes, sir. I realized it was a sensitive issue. That is why I did try to walk on thin wires.
Yeah. So little bit of thought was necessary for this.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll go for the next one.
Yes, sir. With examples, state the importance of surprise and suspense in a story. The element of suspense is used in a story to grab viewers' attention and keep him on the edge of his seat. Suspense can be instrumental in sparking the curiosity of a viewer and creating a hook that keeps the viewer engaged in the story as he is seeking answers for the mystery created. The feeling of anticipation around what is about to happen creates expectations, hence pulling. So just a second. शांत रहो तुम लोग अभी जाओ ठीक है अभी तुम लोग जाओ कहीं और मेरे को शांति से करना नहीं नहीं दोनों लोग जाओ दोनों लोग मजाक नहीं क्विक नहीं कोई नहीं नहीं अरे मजाक नहीं कर रहा जल्दी कम ऑन क्विक ठीक है The feeling of anticipation around what is about to happen creates expectations, hence pulling the attention of viewer in the world of movie. One movie that used the trope of suspense effectively was Shutter Island by Martin Scorsese. As we see the protagonist discover the sinister feel at the mental asylum where he was visiting as an officer, we are more and more consumed by the feeling of suspense. There is an element of anticipation around what may be the truth and a sense of fear about how it will affect the protagonist, one of the finest examples of suspense in a movie. Beyond viewers' expectations from the lens of storytelling as a craft, suspense has a lot of value to offer as well. A good story is one that delivers the narrative through characters' journey, their emotional and intellectual conflict, and a resolution that sheds light on the truth of the subject matter. Be it a satire, comedy, action, suspense naturally is a part of our lives because we humans develop expectations around the challenges we are posed in our everyday life. Similarly, characters are bound to face an element of suspense in a story, as it is a part of human nature. For example, in the movie Swades, when Shah Rukh was about to leave for America, there is an element of suspense. We see his lover in the side mirror of the van as he cruises down the road. One thing that can top off the trope of suspense is a surprise. A surprise is a divergence of expectations that helps in creating lasting impact in viewers' minds. Catch him in an expression of awe or basically surprise him. The divergence of expectations catches viewer off guard, and now the surprise can either be fulfilling or disappointing, which may determine the memorability of the work itself. A well-executed surprise must work with the narrative of the story and should not feel forced. Ideally, should be foreshadowed in the build-up itself. One of the best examples of surprise is Rian Johnson's Knives Out. The twist works in favor of the story, clearing the protagonist of charges, using clever plot device viscosity of a certain medicine, and convicting someone who actually had motives to commit the murder and was foreshadowed earlier on multiple occasions. Shutter Island is also a fine example of surprise, completely subverting the expectations of the viewers against the protagonist. Again, works well due to clever screenplay throughout, which laid foundation for executing the surprise. An example of poorly executed surprise would be Prestige's sudden introduction of cloning technology. It does not feel natural to the story and ruins the taste of competitive narrative the movie was building upon.
Yeah, so the other, I would concentrate on the examples that you have given, and then
Yes, sir.
and what's missing in those.
Yes, sir.
You have talked about Shutter Island for suspense, right?
Yes, sir.
So Martin Scorsese's film, as we said, the protagonist discovers the sinister field at the mental asylum where he is a visiting officer. We are more concerned with consuming the feeling of suspense. Suspense of what? I mean, there is a feeling of
sinister feel, yes, sir.
Sinister feeling regarding what?
About
what is he up to? Why does the protagonist come to this mental asylum?
He was a visiting officer there, a police officer, to check on what if things are going the right way in the asylum or not.
So there was a doubt. Was there a doubt or generally?
No, actually, the movie had a very different plot. In fact, he later turned out to be one of the patients of the asylum, fair
enough. So what you could have written is the trope of suspense effectively in Shutter Island by Martin. We see the protagonist discover the sinister feel at the mental asylum where he was visiting as an officer to check things, whether things are okay or not. No, these words you could have added and that could have given a clarity.
Yes, sir. But sir, can we expect while giving examples that the movie must have been watched by my examiner? Because in general, I cannot state the whole premise of the movie in such little words.
Somebody might not have seen the film that you have seen. There are so many films all over the world, and some example. See, it's a matter of 3 or 4 lines. It's a matter of telling how is the suspense, why is the suspense coming in a film? Because you know what are the possible end result. Either,
Yes, sir.
either, either there could be a lafda or there could not be a lafda, and he's
Yes,
trying
sir.
to find out if there is a lafda or not. That is a suspense. Now,
Yes,
if
sir.
you are not giving that particular feel in your write up, then I will start thinking, whether this guy correctly knows about this element or not.
Yes, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
sir. Sure, sir.
So a little bit a couple of words here or there, it would be as simple as where he was visiting as an officer to check whether things are running correct or not, or something like that. And
Yes, sir.
it could have made a complete thing.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, sir.
getting what it's a matter of 2 or 3 words, just giving an explanation,
Yes, sir.
assuming
Yes,
that the
sir.
examiner doesn't know, hasn't seen the film.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Assuming
sir.
that he or she might have seen the film, but
Yes, sir.
assuming that this is going to be read by a very lay person. Similarly, in Swadesh, Swadesh mein Shahrukh sees the lady in the mirror, and all of us have seen Swadesh. But what happens? Why is the suspense there? Why?
Because Shah Rukh is about to leave for America and his lover is waiting for him while he cruises away. So I think that is reflected in the sentence that I mentioned. There is an element of surprise as we see his lover in the side mirror of the van as he cruises down the road. Because, okay, I could have written that she fades away in the side mirror of the van. So it
And
shows
why is it a suspense?
because whether Shah Rukh will stay or not, that was the part of the suspense.
So okay, so then you have to write probably. We see his side mirror, lover in the side mirror of the van, who's curious to know whether he's going to stay back or not.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Something like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So similarly, the other examples.
Yes, sir. I realize that.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. Because you have added a few more words here and there, you could have you would have to cut some more words here and there, but then that's okay. There are a lot of scope for that.
yes,
Okay?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the thing is to make it clear. What
Yes, sir.
exactly.
Yes, sir.
If I don't get that suspense element from your examples, I'll start
Yes, sir.
wondering whether this guy knows suspense or not. I say you take
Yes,
right,
sir.
you take right.
Yes.
Concrete examples in a concrete language would have made it very clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Sure, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Next one.
Question number 3. OTT is the future of entertainment industry. Discuss the statement with your opinion for or against the same. Answer. OTT has been increasingly occupying larger market share in the entertainment industry, and it is destined to be the future of the industry for various reasons. Affordability is one of the biggest factors. OTT brings top-grade entertainment at prices lesser than cable TV or going to a film. OTTs going to a film, I mean going to a theater. OTT is not going to replace cinema industry entirely, yet affect it negatively, and the numbers for cinema are going to keep falling as now it has become a luxury expense since the introduction of OTT, which brings up top quality content at your fingertips. Not only affordable, but OTT has larger accessibility as well. In this day and age of internet, everyone is equipped with a smartphone in a family. Consuming content is easier than ever. At work, during breaks, or watching it with family at night on your 50-inch TV screen. The normalization of Wi-Fi and good quality screens everywhere has made OTT a go-to platform for entertainment consumers. From a farmer to a busy businessman, both can find it possible to consume entertainment through OTT platform much more conveniently than going to theater or consuming cable. Control is another big factor that OTT brings on the table. One can choose from a wide array of genres, movies, series, or documentaries, whatever suits the taste buds of the consumer. Theater generally has limited set of movies playing at a time, which are new. With OTT, viewers can watch films of any day and age. Diversity is also another advantage of OTT. Limitless content from different nationalities are available on the platform, hence allowing a diverse experience of art forms easily. Time is another factor that serves OTT's favor. With no advertising after subscription fees, consumers can enjoy uninterrupted services faster than ever. Last but not least, OTT enjoys a lot more freedom in artistic expression than cinema, which goes through a more rigorous censorship process, often losing the vision of the creators of the film. This makes OTT the way of the future because more movie makers would enjoy using OTT to express their art forms uncensored and enjoy freedom of creative liberty. This also gives the audience a chance to enjoy art in its intended form and develop newer perspectives using this audiovisual medium free from propaganda or political influence that often affects the process of censorship.
So you've covered a lot of issues. You have covered technology, you have covered convenience, you have covered variety, there are choices available and things like that. You have
Yes,
even
sir.
talked about technology,
Yes, sir.
which is fair enough. But the last paragraph, I mean, you have a point of view here, but you asked
Yes,
Anurag
sir.
Kashyap. I told you about Anurag Kashyap yesterday. You are dealing with making films for making programs for OTT has given him heart attacks. You know, so this you should think about a little bit about this last paragraph. A little more dwell on it. Whether this really gives freedom to the
Yes, sir.
to the
Sir,
filmmaker and stuff like
yeah,
that.
sir, I did dwell upon it, and it does give, because there are very extreme examples of content that are out there on OTT right now, which
Okay.
couldn't have been possible without it. For example, The Boys is a very extreme example. I
Yeah.
could have mentioned the examples, I guess.
Yeah, you could, because they are only 388. Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
I
could
should
have
have mentioned the examples
mentioned the
to
examples of,
express support my
yeah,
opinion. Yes, sir.
yeah. True. So it's a well thought of, except for the last portion, it's a well thought of and well expressed
Yes, sir.
write up.
Yes,
Okay,
sir. Thank you,
go
sir.
for the next one.
Yes, sir. Television is a medium of close-up. Discuss the statement with relevant examples. Answer. Television is a medium of close-up in two senses. Firstly, television enjoys lesser screen size than cinema. Hence, close-up angles are more preferably used to communicate the expression and emotions of characters effectively. Wider shots are less prevalent in the television industry, both due to lesser screen space and the fact that the method of storytelling used in television is also close up to the characters involved in the show. We dive deeper into people's lives. Television explore more nuances of their everyday lives, from morning tea to evening dinner of a family together. The characters are more naked emotionally to the viewers in television. For example, daily soaps in India usually revolves around the main character's life very closely, contrasting in movie narratives. In movies, narratives work their way through the characters to deliver a story. Three, there is a greater sense of intimacy with characters in television, and they start to feel like family and a part of our lives due to larger screen time frequency that creates a familiarity bias as well. For example, situational comedies, sitcoms generally last for more than a couple of years, and some even last for decades, like The Big Bang Theory or renowned Indian show Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma. We see characters navigate through their daily life, face menial challenges as we do, making us feel closer to the characters than we do in cinema. Lastly, the perceived closeness is not only felt by the viewers or writer, the whole cast also find themselves attached to each other as they spend significant part of their lives in these shows, developing a bond with the viewers and co-stars. The struggles and battles they fight in real life are often reflected as writers closely work with the actors to create most realistic yet entertaining piece of work possible. For example, Melissa's pregnancy was utilized in the show The Big Bang Theory, which led to her character being portrayed as pregnant, as well as impacting the story at large. Hence, close-up nature of television is reflected by the use of camera angles up close to the characters, as the story and the viewers are equally up close with the characters in their lives as well. Personally, me finding great resonance with characters in the Big Bang Theory, a show about nerds. The characters and their journey inspire me and make me happy as if they are my friends.
Yeah, Aditya, the best part of this write up is that you go beyond the magnification of the frame. Close up means a frame, a close up
Yes, sir.
of a frame.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There are two aspects of close up in television that you deal with. One is the
Yes, sir.
magnification of the frame, which you
Yes,
rightly
sir.
pointed out, and then one is
Yes,
the
sir.
closeness involved with the of the character and the viewers, family
Yes,
viewers,
sir.
between
Yes,
the
sir.
characters and stuff like that. And that is
Yes, sir.
something I haven't seen. This is a new thing that I've seen here,
Yes, sir.
and it's a very refreshing one. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So so resonance. You're personally finding great resonance with the character. This is the kind of closer nature,
Yes, sir.
that you're
Yes, sir.
talking
Yes,
about.
sir. That
Apart
is,
from
yes,
that,
sir.
yeah,
Yes, sir. Sir, because, sir, I was confused whether to go into the diverse media of television, for example, news and other things, where I did not feel the close-up part actually coming to life. So I just went with the examples that actually I felt the closeness working through
Yeah.
the television.
So you not only talk about the close-up as a magnification, as a technical thing, but it is a closeness of the characters and the viewers. You talk about that close-up also.
Yes,
And
yes, sir.
in a sense, you put these two things together so that there is a juxtaposition and there might be a connection between the two.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a well thought out. Good.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ajay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ajay, start.
Okay, sir. Good morning. Sorry, good evening.
Good morning.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, clear, loud and clear.
Okay. Okay. Question number 1. Take any subject you like to make a documentary on, right? Brief background and the need for such documentary. The statement you want to make through this documentary in one sentence, audience intended. At least 3 points that should be included in the documentary. If you think some interviews on camera are need, the who should it be, and give it 2 questions to be asked. My answer: happiness in youth. So, can you
reduce the
zoom out?
Okay.
Okay, sir. No. Okay, sir. Perfect. Okay. Hope this title will goes to more ways. But I was searching for making a documentary about what I'm choosing an interesting subject. Then I reached here. Also, I am a youth person, so I am ready to willing to tell about stories in my stage. Yes, without happiness, a human's life is worthless. Happiness is the word more we are using when we are at a sad situation. But when we are happy mode, we sure doesn't think about sad times or sad moments. Pleasant smiles in faces is very beautiful thing in the world. But it should be more than when we are happy stage. Firstly, I am telling my idea or theme of the documentary. I think my current age is the way for the thinking for making the documentary. When I was in college, I'm more happy than current me. I enjoyed day by day. I haven't think about future or responsibility. But after my graduation, I realized the more happy moments are left. We have to move on to the future. After graduation, we have to make our next step on job. Job is a daily routine process. We wake up in the morning and left to the office working and come back to the home, take rest, again started another day. In this process, a graduated youth is more unsatisfied. Most of the person haven't get job what they like. Another main reason is lack of salary. Second, the statement is I want to make through the documentary is a lack of salary and pressurized jobs is leading in youth unsatisfied life. Third, the audience must be intended because the audience outside audience should be known about the subject. So I am shooting the testimonials of youth and telling them about their happiness. Their present, past, and future is the interesting subject to convince audience. Fourth, there are some points that should be included in the documentary. First one, there are a lot of parents are thinking that is their children would be happy whenever they got job. But in my opinion, most of the youth are not happy. They get salary and they will take to make family with that money. They are like robots. The main point is the mental health of the youth. Yes, more persons get suicide or depressed when they are unhappy. So I am telling the relationship between the parents and their children. Second one. Money can buy happiness or money cannot buy happiness. Money is an important factor in our lives. In my friends, they get salary and paying EMIs in months. So after research, I can reach this statement. Third one is doctors' opinions about youth. In present times, most of the youth are going to their job without their passion. They're working for family, not for them. In that way, the youth got depressed and get suicide. Fifth one, this interview is on a camera need. I will ask to youth and public. I will talk about current job situation to public, and I will talk about current happiness in youth. In my village, there is always a talk that is, if we pass PSC exam, public service exam, then we will get married. but most of the persons didn't know about their happiness. I'm the person doesn't have responsibilities or time to get job as of now. I got an opportunity for studies, but if I talk about my friends, they are not happy or they are not satisfied in their area. So I wish to like bring about the robotic moments of youths. They are not satisfied or happy as of now.
Yeah. So the first thing that I noticed that you have exceeded. I tell you
Yes,
what.
sir.
I'll tell you what. The whole. Will this be necessary or not necessary? All this is covered here in the first part and the second part. In my opinion, all this would be a duplication. Of what we have already covered this here. So I
Okay,
think
okay.
some of the words you could have easily stayed within life. The second of the clear.
Yes, sir, clear, clear.
Yeah. Second observation that I want to make is there are no specifics. We are looking for specifics. You talk
Yeah.
vaguely. You talk about your village.
Okay.
So if you say I'm concentrating on my village,
Okay.
I'm concentrating on my friend. One friend got studied and he got married. If you know his name, you don't need great research because it's your own life. Or
Okay.
you could talk about your own life. You could talk about your own life. A lot of documentary filmmakers put themselves into the film, so you could also do that.
Okay.
They are specific. If these are specific, or some friend that you have, or your neighbor who is a friend whose name is Joseph or something like that. I don't know. So if there were specificity in this, then this would have made some sense. You're talking about the mental health of people, of students who of people who have graduated and they are pressurized into getting work, and then they're not happy, and then they have issues, problems, mental health issues, and they attempt to harm themselves. If you know of any such specific cases, I mean, you would be knowing about cases, and therefore you put it here. If you know such specific cases, you could have given examples of that.
Okay.
And you could have described his or her life. What made him or her to take her life and all those things, specific cases. So that was what was missing in this.
Okay, sir.
Uh,
Okay, sir.
there are issues with the languages and stuff like that. I think that can be
So I have some language problems. Sorry.
that could be
Uh,
improved upon, by practice.
okay,
But
sir.
otherwise, I get what you're saying, except that this piece, there's a lot of repetition in this piece which could have been avoided, and instead of that, you could have put in specific examples of the generalizations that you talk about.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
So we'll go for the next one.
Yeah, sure.
Hmm.
With examples, state the importance of surprise and suspense in storytelling. Answer. Surprise and suspense is the main important factors in storytelling. Suspense is the feeling you get when you know something exciting is happening or about to happen, while surprising is the feeling you get after it has happened. When something spooky is happening in a story, you often experience a feeling of expectation or impending doom. Surprise is unexpected more than a suspense. Suspense is the feeling of uncertainty and anticipation that a storyteller creates by withholding information and delaying the resolution of a conflict. Surprise is the feeling of astonishment and shock that a storyteller creates by revealing something unexpected or contradictory. Both suspense and surprise can trigger emotional reactions, such as fear, excitement, curiosity, or joy that make the audience more invested in the story and the message. I can tell about the suspense and surprise in Drishyam Malayalam film. You can see director creates a highly suspense in second half of the Drishyam part 1. Police are searching about Varun in that village, and there came to George Woody's family. Then the family would not give up. In that moment, we get a thrill and director hiding something. That is creating a suspense. At the end of the film, director saying the body is covered under the police station without dialogues through the brilliant visuals and cuts. In that way, viewers get a surprise moment. The fact is where the body covered. To create a suspense in your storytelling, you need to use three elements: a clear goal, a high stake, and a looming threat. A clear goal, that what is your protagonist or main character wants to achieve or avoid. A highly stake, is what your protagonist or main character stands or lose to gain depending on the outcome. A looming threat is what prevents your protagonist or main character from reaching or escaping the goal. By establishing these elements, you create a sense of urgency and tension that keeps your audience wondering what will happen next.
You have very beautifully explained the first thing is surprise and suspense. Enough.
Okay.
And after giving an example, you have like summed it up here. In fact, you have gone into detail. Here, where is it? High stakes. Three things are required. You need three elements. This is a very
Yes, sir.
clear cut. You have gone ahead. You have dissected what surprise is, what suspense is basically. You've given an example of Drishyam also. Now,
Yes.
the way you have gone into detail about suspense, you could have gone in some detail about surprise also.
Surprise also.
So because I'm telling because I was missing it, and then I figured out that this is just 325. If one point is like I was missing it. I in detail
Yes,
you
sir.
have gone into suspense in
Oh,
detail,
yes, sir.
and you have dissected it. You have for the audience you have dissected it and told that this is suspense. This is how it is created, and this is how probably it is created in Drishyam. Now I
Yes.
don't know surprise. If you can if you could have given some detail about the police station surprise of body or any other film that could have probably worked, and the theory of
Okay.
suspense surprise. You have beautifully given the theory of suspense. Now we are a little bit missing was the theory of surprise.
Surprise. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I think you have a very clear sense of what the two aspects, two things are.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Again, language you could have developed. Practice your language.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Yeah. We'll go for the next one.
Yeah, sure, sir. OTT is the future of entertainment industry. Discuss the statement with your opinion for or against the same. Answer. Yes, we know cinema is an emotion. That emotion creates an era in our mind. If I talk about me without cinema, there is no my full version. I was only a knowledge about the movies. When I was kid, I watched movies in theaters because that big screen creates me a wow factor. What a visual, what a film, and what a making. So if I am the reason for loving films, there is a theater experience none other than OTT. Of course, OTT is an important factor for watching films, but in my opinion, OTT is the future for lazy entertainment industry. Entertaining a man is a big matter for a filmmaker. Entertainment means there is all emotions included. Love, happy, cry, lust, exciting, or thrilling, and more facts are included. We watched more movies and more series in OTT after Corona. So in that way, we get lazy. We approach the OTT for film watch. A filmmaker can give their film to OTT platform. I think that is it is easy and a lazy job. But when we screen our films to theaters, if that film is awesome in all filmmaking aspects, we success. But a OTT movie also can reach in worldwide and get response from them. Minnal Murali is the first approach for screening in theaters. But in Corona situation, they gave their film to OTT platform and they get huge response from the worldwide. But after watching that film, more people said that the film should be screened in a big screen. There are a lot of old movies and series get appreciated through the OTT. In Corona situation, there are some movies can release their movies in OTT when they stuck in financial issues. Home, Sarapatta Parambarai, Malik, Minnal Murali, Kurudi, Sunny, Mahan, Atrangi Ray, and lot of movies got opportunity because because of the OTT. Yes, there are advantages for OTT in our lifestyle. But I again saying it is a lazy for film watching movies in OTT. A film is completely beautiful when it comes in theaters. Because in my opinion, there is a big fact for theater for making us as film lovers.
Uh, I think I, the beginning portion, I think you went overboard talking about yourself, no, which was not necessary. You could have either removed this or condensed it into one line or two lines or whatever.
Okay.
So you basically have a clear cut view that it is a lazy for the future for lazy entertainment.
Yes.
What do
Yes.
you mean by lazy entertainment?
Because we are just sitting. We are watching movies like it's small screen. But when we are going to theaters, we get wow factor. I get always wow factor from theaters only, not from OTT. I think after watching a film in OTT, I'm thinking if that movie will be screening in theaters. So, in my opinion, OTTs is a lazy entertainment industry.
Yeah, so I think we should be careful to use such language because I live in
Okay.
for example, I live in a building where there is a watchman. He's come from UP. Yeah, so there is less of in his field. Whenever it's not an agriculture season, he migrates to Bombay, the whole gang of him, and then he comes and watches here. He sleeps here at the
Okay.
building, and they're doing double shifts, day
Okay.
shifts and night shifts. You know?
Okay.
So
Okay.
he has no scope to go anywhere,
Okay. Okay.
and then he has no daily holiday also. What would he do in the evening? Either in the night shift, either he would sleep because he's doing double shift, or he's going to watch a movie. You know how? I mean,
Okay.
to call him as a lazy audience is an insult to him. You know, so it could be lazy for you as because you're a filmmaker. We are all filmmakers. We would love to watch our movies on big screen, but I think we should be a little bit careful when making these generalizations. You know,
Okay, sir.
lazy entertainment because for some people it is necessity. They're going in a metro and they're watching a film, or they're going in a bus and watching the film. And when the stops come down, they stop the film where it is and then pick it up while coming back from the office. You know, that becomes a necessity for them. You know? So a little bit careful of.
Yes, sir, I have a doubt. In like these questions, OTT, there are a lot of answers or lot of different opinions uh, who they are wrote in exams. But how could an head of the examiner pick up the correct answer? What's the basis?
See, I'll tell you, this is not rocket science. है ना? There is no
Okay.
formula. There is no formula. This is art. है ना? So you write something, and it might be according to my worldview. It might not be according to my worldview. A correct
Okay.
examiner would see the logic behind it, in spite of the worldview. है ना? Is there a correct
Yes, sir.
logic to it? Is there an expressive logic to it? You know, so if that logic, if I don't see, if the person doesn't see, so then there is an issue. Is it superficial? Is it making grand statements without going into details? You know, these
Sir,
are
I
the
want to
Okay.
add something.
yeah.
Sir, like one may be an elitist in regards with this. Yeah, I like theater because it appreciates the art in the truest form. But one must not be ignorant at the same time about how OTT serves the masses in general. I think the acknowledgement would be necessary there. Okay, one can be an elitist and enjoy that perspective more. But yeah, calling it lazy is being ignorant about the mass consumer.
No, basically, I think to be fair enough for him, fair enough for Ajay, he's calling it
Okay,
lazy
sir.
for basically he's for himself. You know, he
Okay,
would,
sir.
or even I would want to watch a film on a theater. You know, basically, sometimes I feel lazy to go to a theater. I said, who's going to go and spend 300 rupees or 400 rupees and to the theater? I'll watch it here only. I'll ask my friend. I'm not too familiar with torrents and stuff like that. I'll ask my friend, hey, download and give it to me, and I'll watch it. So I am lazy, correct? Ajay is perfectly right, lazy. But then I am lazy. You know, I am
Oh, yes,
lazy.
sir.
The world is not lazy. है ना? So that acknowledgement that Aditya na, who talked about right now,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yeah, the acknowledgement that one should acknowledge this, and also one should acknowledge this. One could feel that it's your personal point of view. If that is there, you know, then it's okay. It doesn't matter if I, as an examiner, would find this lazy or not. I would see an internal logic inside me. If that logic is there, and okay, no problem. Believability. It is believable. You know? For example, somebody said that a hybrid mode of OTT film watching would be the future. I don't agree with that at all. but I don't agree with that. I'm not getting into an argument where, but I see the logic. She had a logic, absolute correct logic, and I see that logic. Ideally, one sees the logic. Logical. I think
Okay, sir.
all these questions are corrected twice by two people, and then an average is taken or something like that. Something like that happens. Okay, cool.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
But
Yes, sir.
having said that, it should not bother you from putting your own thoughts, original thoughts into the. It's good that you feel that OTT is lazy. It's very good, but it's just that you acknowledge that it is your worldview. You know? It is not.
Okay, sir.
It is not the general worldview. You know? At least acknowledge that.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the next
Yes.
one.
Yeah. So sorry, I know this is just some words, small words. I know the correct answer, but I can't write with that statement to develop. Can I?
Read whatever you have
Yeah,
written,
okay.
please.
Okay. Television is a medium of close-up. Discuss the statement with the relevant examples. Answer. Television is a medium of close-up. Serials are the examples for this statement. In serials, the characters are seen through close-up. In a mini screen, if we get an emotion, we will shoot in a close-up. It is the main focuses the audience attention on a crucial part of the story. It highlights emotions and nuances in a performer's faces. A close-up shot is a type of camera shot size in film and television that adds emotion to a scene. It tightly frames an actor's face, making their reaction the main focus in the frame. There are old ages more seeing in television, so they shoot on close-up more. So television is a medium of close-up.
Yeah. You tell me, if there is 10 marks to this question, how much would you give yourself?
1.5.
And why is it so? What is missing?
It's only 100 words.
That's okay.
Something.
Even in 100 words, you can create a magic. But what's missing?
I don't know any correctly.
So basically, this is a very tricky question. Television is a medium of close-up. Either you believe in it or you don't believe in it. If you believe in
Yes,
it,
yes.
if you believe in it, why is it a medium of close-up? You'll have to say why is it? Right? So if you don't believe in it, you still have to say why do you don't believe it? Right?
Okay, okay.
So you'll have to, a thought should be given. And so all of you should think about this. If it is a close-up, medium of close-up, why is it medium of close-up? If it is not, why is it not? And there might be close-ups in television that might not work. That might not work, and then you should give examples and stuff like that. Yeah, this is a very generic, and it's a statement, even 100 words on close-up. It's not on close-ups in television. It's just a 100-word thing on close-up. Okay. All of you should start thinking about this and hold a view, and for that view you should have a basis. Why do you hold such a view? Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you, Ajay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Next one is Aslesha. Hi, Aslesha.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah,
Am I audible?
absolutely clear.
Okay. So the question is, take any subject you like to make a documentary on. First is brief background and the need for such documentary. So, sir, I have mentioned the story. तो ये मेरे एक distant cousin की कहानी है, तो मैंने उसी हिसाब से इसको लिखा है, थोड़ा specifically करके. तो basically the documentary revolves around the life of a girl who is a UPSC aspirant. She is really intelligent. As we all know, when you are preparing for some kind of competitive exam, the society set a very high standard for the aspirant. The peer pressure starts taking place. So there's this girl revising all the material as the next day is the exam day. While revising, because of lack of confidence and the peer pressure and the high expectations of the people around, she starts doubting herself. She starts thinking of different scenarios, such as if she'll not crack the exam, what would happen to her and to her family, etc. These thoughts made her morale really weak at such level that she was convinced that she cannot crack it. She writes a letter where she stated, "Sorry, I couldn't." She got a blade and cut herself on the wrist. Her After a few minutes, her mother came into her room and found out what had happened to her. She was saved ultimately, but while recovering, she got depressed, which lasted for few months. But with the help of her family, she fought with it and recovered. She again started prepping for the exam and cleared it with good marks. The need to make such documentary is to make it very clear that mental illness is not a joke. To maintain a good mental health is very, very important in today's world where there is pressure everywhere. Each and every person in this life suffered from such low phases where some know how to handle it, but some of them got stuck there itself. To ask for help when you are in need is totally okay. It happens. Time is never the same. If it feels good sometimes, it can be bad the other times. But you should know how to maintain the balance between both of them, as where there is darkness, there is light, but you should know what you want in life. The statement you want to make through this documentary in one sentence. So, the statement I want to make through this documentary is that life is full of ups and downs, and sometimes it's okay to not be okay. While being that, asking for help is totally fine. Audience intended, so the documentary is for all, but the main audience is the teenagers and their parents. 3 points that should be included in the documentary: first and foremost, the proper establishment of the plot with the background, why, what, and who. Secondly, the interviews of the victims and the intent behind making the documentary. The lesson must be clear to the audience. If you think some interviews on camera are neat, then who should it be? And give 2 questions to be asked. They will be the victims of depression and suicidal tendencies, the one who came out of these things and did very well in their professional lives by achieving something, and also the ones who helped them recovering by supporting them will also be included. The questions to be asked: first, at what stage they realize that they are going through such kind of mental illness, and the second is how did they overcome that particular period.
Yeah. So you come to know when you're writing this, you come to know that this is an experienced idea. Matlab, not personally, but maybe
Yes, sir.
somebody close, and you have stated it also. Even if you had not stated it,
Yes, sir.
the kind of detailing that you know, one could make out that this is something that you have seen closely. You know, you could have seen closely. You know, so I think one
Yes,
could
sir.
make that case. So what is probably missing is you go into what's her name, you know, what you say. Basically, the documentary revolves around the life of this girl named so and so, who lives in so and so, and she's of this age, and she the specifics, you know. Now we have got into general, you know. You just if you had given names or you had given the parents' name or something, there could be people who would not
Yes, sir.
want to say their names or declare their identity. You know, there could be people like that. So in that case, you write a name and then it's a fictional name. You know, it's a fictional name. The names have
Okay.
been
Yes, sir.
changed or something like that for privacy sake and stuff like that. You could do that. But then specific, if you give names, then there is a specificity. कौन सी जगह पे, कहाँ पे है ये, है ना? Where is in Delhi or where is it? Where is she staying? You know, वो सब detailing अगर होता है, तो then you know कि this lady, this girl knows what she is talking
Yes,
about.
sir.
है ना? तो एक clarity आ जाती है.
ठीक है, sir.
So that is the fact that you're narrating a story. Basically, it's a story that has happened. है ना? So you'll have to think about how are you going to narrate the story? Are you going to narrate the story through interviews? Are you going to narrate the story through what you call the docu-fiction? Are you going into the fiction mode? Yes, you'll have to think about it and probably write it. You know, since you have thought about it so much, you could also go about and think about how are you going to, कैसे आप shoot करना चाहते हैं ये story को? ये how do you want to shoot? How do you want to show? I'm asking you a question. किस तरह से ये
हाँ
कहानी?
सर, तो सर इंटरव्यूज वगैरह को ऐड करके, बट एक जैसा फिक्शनल मोड आपने बोला उसको एक उस तरह से बना करके ताकि ऑडियंस कनेक्ट करे और उसके बाद फिर इंटरव्यूज.
Yeah, so if that is the case, at least 3 points that should be included in the documentary. You could have added that. You know, I would like the story would be told through interviews and little bit of fiction portion. You know, so you could have added that, and that it would have given a clear picture as to how the documentary, how could we see the documentary on the screen? What would be the forecast of the documentary? See, in any case, आपने दो ही point बोला ना इधर, है ना? Third point could have been how are you going to tell the story through interviews?
सर एक्चुअली सेकेंडली जो इंटरव्यूज है वो सेकंड पॉइंट है, और उसके बाद फिर मैंने एंड के साथ थर्ड पॉइंट किया कि जो इंटेंट है, एक्चुअल जो लेसन है वो क्लियर होना चाहिए ऑडियंस में, वो चीज।
वो तो आपका इंटेंशन है, ठीक है, बट व्हाट आई एम सेइंग इज मैं ये कहानी जो है ये इंटेंट क्लियर होने के लिए मैं ये चीजें यूज कर रहा हूँ। एक तो कहानी बोल रहा हूँ, थोड़ा सा फिक्शन एलिमेंट्स यूज कर रहा हूँ एंड थोड़ा सा इंटरव्यू यूज कर रहा हूँ, है ना? एक लाइन अगर ये ऐड कर देता उस तरीके से उस बाय यूजिंग द फिक्शन एलिमेंट एंड बाय मिक्सिंग इट विद द इंटरव्यूज the kahani will be clearly established and the intention of my documentary film would be clear. अगर ये होता तो एकदम सही हो पाई, है ना? You're getting what I'm saying?
ठीक है सर।
Yeah, you're not sure. आपका ठीक है, ठीक नहीं था। Am I
सर एक्चुअली वो थोड़ा नेटवर्क का भी इशू हो रहा है, तो कहीं कहीं आवाज कट रही है, कहीं कहीं पे आ रही है दिक्कत, वो भी आ रही है साथ में, तो कुछ चीजें
so what I'm saying
हो रही है बाकी की।
Yeah, am I clear now? अभी क्लियर हूँ मैं?
Sir, there's a question.
Yeah.
Like, can we make a documentary film and lay a fiction film background with it? Like,
there is a format called the docudrama. So when you're making a film on Akbar and Birbal, documentary film, you can't go and interview Akbar and Birbal, na?
yes, sir.
So sometimes you fictionalize things, you know, not to the level of.
So just to build a foundation of the drama.
Yes, you could do that. And she says, Aslecha says she's also doing that fiction portion, little bit of fiction. If you see all these Discovery channels and stuff like that, or history channels, you can see that format. You know?
Okay.
So, but Aslecha, am I audible to you now?
Yes sir. हाँ अभी आ रही है सर।
हाँ, तो अभी ठीक आपने अच्छा मतलब अच्छा प्रपोजल लिखा है, अच्छा राइटअप लिखा है, एक्सेप्ट दैट लिटिल बिट ऑफ डिटेलिंग अगर वर्कआउट करता नाम वगैरह वगैरह तो वो और क्लियर हो जाता है ना?
हाँ सर, ठीक है सर।
So we'll go for the next one.
Yes sir.
Yeah.
Okay sir. So the next question is, with example state the importance of surprise and suspense in storytelling. So basically the storytelling is an art which includes various things such as the plot, theme, characters and their background at its base, and twists and turns at the next level to spice it up. Smooth storytelling is good, which at its own makes consistency for the audience, but which can also lead to boredom sometimes or lack of interest in the audience. But when elements like suspense and surprise come into the picture, they force the audience to be constantly connected to the story and keep them at the edge of their seat. At most of the times, they start guessing the climax according to the depth of suspense. Whereas if we talk about surprise element, as humans, we all love surprises, things that are unexpected, give another level of kick. When storytelling includes a surprise element in it boosts the interest of the audience to another level, and after that audience span of attention to the product increases as compared to the earlier ones. Taking the most recent examples of adding cameos or special appearances in the film, recently released movie Tiger 3 had the special cameo of Shah Rukh Khan of around 20 minutes, and that sequence in the movie was celebrated the most. The entry sequence of SRK was filled with the whistling and hooting of the audience, and that was the major surprise element in the movie. More examples of surprise element can be an entry of new character in the story which was not expected by the audience at all, such as the character of Samar in Dhoom 3, the twin brother of Zahir played by Amir Khan. That surprise element changed the whole thought process of the audience, as they were as they were thinking the other way for the movie. Basically, surprise and suspense are complementary to each other. They both are two different sides of the same coin. When there is suspense, there is surprise hidden in the story. The difference is only that the suspense keeps you at the edge, and the surprise element redefines that edge at a whole different level. Those twists and turns engages the audience by increasing their curiosity, forces them to ponder over and over the plot of the story, and breaks the consistency. It's just like that you enjoy a roller coaster ride more than a simple super fast train, though both have speed as their common factor, but the thing that differs them both is their way. One is filled with the unexpected ups and downs, and the other one has an expected smooth roadmap.
ये आपने अच्छा मेटाफर दिया
इससे
लास्ट
शायद
में।
नीचे भी होगा, मेरे को लग रहा है नीचे भी
अच्छा है
लिखा
हाँ। सरप्राइज बर्थडे पार्टी।
A surprise, huh? A surprise birthday party is a lot more fun than a pre-planned birthday party. A crime thriller show with suspense grabs more attention than a Saas Bahu daily soap, where you know how the story will revolve around it. It doubles the joy of the audience and improves their watching experience. So when surprise and suspense joins the storytelling, it holds the audience longer and maintains their interest.
ये अश्लेषा आपने जो द नीड फॉर सस्पेंस और सरप्राइज जो व्याख्यान दिया है, आई थिंक इट इज द बेस्ट, आई मीन इट्स अ वेरी गुड एनालिसिस ऑफ दैट. If you have studied Aristotle, I mean he says exactly this. I mean in a different words, but why do you need the basic thing is a plot, you know? Characters and the background and the plot, the theme and stuff like that.
Sir.
And you want to make it interesting, you have to have suspense,
Yes,
suspense or surprise. He doesn't use the word suspense and surprise, but he uses some other words. But that's okay. That at a later stage you can share with it. But this is what Aristotle. I don't know if you are aware of it. This is exactly what Aristotle says. You know? So that a plot has to be an interesting plot, a simple plot and a
sir.
complex plot. That's what he says. You know, complex plot has this surprise and so that's a good thing that we talked about. Yeah, I would have
Yes, sir.
little bit more dwelled on the examples of it in terms of कैसे suspense होता है in and कैसे surprise होता है. एक तो एक स्टार लेवल पे एक नया कैरेक्टर का एंट्री में सरप्राइज है, वो आपने चूज किया. I would have loved a little more, one or two lines of the plot level that to differentiate between the suspense and the
surprise,
surprise. Otherwise, your metaphors and similes are.
Yes, sir.
How long is this? Should be around 500, no?
It's around 450, sir. 450.
450. So, you know, और 50 words था ना आपका पास, थोड़ा example थोड़ा और बढ़ा सकता था, है ना?
Yes,
so
sir.
You could have done that. So it's
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ठीक है. It's a nice little thing. So we'll go for the
Yes, sir.
next one.
OTT is the future of the entertainment industry. Discuss the statement with your opinion for or against the same. I feel over-the-top platforms do provide various opportunities to the audience as well as the filmmakers and working artists. As per today, content is being created at more faster pace than before, and so does the variety of content is increasing. Various genres with various new concepts are being created. Initially, there was limited scope of releasing the content, but today OTT provides numerous platforms where the content can be released, which affects the making budget of the film and provides the content its very own audience. Audience too now has a variety of content which can be watched as per their convenience of place and time. For audience, OTT has provided a large space where they can explore and try what they actually want to watch. After the lockdown period, OTT has emerged as big thing. Many films which are in doubt to make it big in cinema hall or where certification issue emerges, OTT has provided them a platform. In fact, today where cinema products need to be in a specific frame of time and content, OTT doesn't have any type of certification and restriction regarding the time limit and quality of film. recent example of Oh My God 2, which released in theaters, had approx 21 to 25 cuts to be able to release in theaters in specific certification for their targeted audience. But afterwards, movie was released on Netflix in its original form without cuts. Jawan had some extra scenes which were edited for the release of the film in theaters, but this movie was also released on Netflix with those extra scenes. Every movie or every show has its own audience, and OTT gives them this opportunity to explore and reach out to the ones they actually belong to. But if we say that OTT is the future of entertainment industry, it is, but at a certain level, as it cannot match the out of the world feeling of theaters. OTT also have a lot of exposure of content which is not appropriate for all ages, and due to lack of certification process, you never know when to watch or with whom to watch. Theaters are celebrated and the OTTs are explored. Both have their own pros and cons, but they make way for the content creation in today's world more convenient. Theaters are the traditional ones and the OTTs are modified one.
In a nutshell?
In a nutshell, while OTT plays a pivotal role in the future of entertainment, a complete shift might not be imminent. A balanced coexistence where traditional and OTT models complement each other could define the industry's landscape, providing options for a diverse and evolving audience.
Yeah. So I think all of you should dwell a little bit more on the future of OTT. There are a few multiplexes, cinema halls abroad, which have closed down and they have become shelter homes. है ना?
हाँ.
So
ये लॉकडाउन के बाद ज्यादा
नहीं,
हुआ
हाँ,
है.
लॉकडाउन से पहले से हुआ है, मतलब लॉकडाउन has speeded the process, है ना, of digitization and stuff like that.
अच्छा.
Physicality. We would love to watch films in a group, but I don't know if that has any future. So that's my personal opinion. But आपका logic सही है, आपका you have uh, you have a particular. Why do you feel that a balanced coexistence is the future?
सर मुझे लगता है दोनों में से कोई भी चीज पूरी तरह से ना खत्म हो सकती है ना इग्नोर हो सकती है. ओटीटी का अपना फ्लेवर है, थिएटर का अपना फ्लेवर है, तो अगर वो दोनों साथ में चलेंगे तो वो और अच्छे से हमारा जो कंटेंट है उसके लिए एक प्लेटफॉर्म प्रोवाइड किया जाता है. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल थिएटर में अगर अभी कोई मूवी रिलीज हुई है, वो एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम के बाद ऑडियंस तो जाएगी थिएटर में, बट एक पर्टिकुलर टाइम के बाद वो ओटीटी प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे रिलीज की जाती है ताकि उसे वहां अपनी ऑडियंस मिले और जो वहां पर नहीं देख सकते वो वहां पर देख सकते हैं. तो मुझे लगता है एक बैलेंस अगर कोएग्जिस्टेंस हो तो हम चीजें साथ में लेकर काफी अच्छे से चल सकते हैं, बिकॉज एट लास्ट इट इज ऑल अबाउट कंटेंट क्रिएशन.
Yeah. So basically, your wish is that it coexists. Yeah, आपका wish list है that it coexists. वो coexist करे. Is that it?
Yes, sir.
So ठीक है. So in that sense, it is fair enough. No? So we'll go for the next one.
Yes, sir. Next one जो question है उसमें.
Ask you a question.
Television is a medium of close-up.
So, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Sir, I would like to know your take on this answer. Like there have been answers for and against that OTT question. I would like to know what's your take on it.
I would see this, as I told yesterday, I would see this as a part of the digitization of our life. आपका पैसा बैंक जाना, if you go for example सिटी बैंक अगर फिजिकली जाते हैं आप चार्ज मनी फॉर इट, है ना. सिटी बैंक तो नहीं है अभी, यस बैंक हो गया, but they used to charge money if you go physically to a bank. So everything is happening online. The money is being physical form of currency थोड़ी दिन में चला जाएगा, है ना. अब ऑलरेडी हम डील कर रहे वो क्या बोलते हैं जीपे वगैरह, है ना. पर एंड देन योर होल लाइफ, आपका एग्जिस्टेंस जो है, आधार कार्ड जो है वो ऑनलाइन है. आपका एग्जिस्टेंस चुरा सकते हैं, लोग चुरा सकते हैं, आपका एग्जिस्टेंस का ही खत्म कर सकते हैं डुप्लीकेट कर सकते हैं या चोरी कर सकते हैं, कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। ये वी आर स्लोली मूविंग टवर्ड्स ए लाइफ फुल ऑफ डिजिटाइजेशन। उसके अंदर आई सी द OTT platforms, you know. Somebody talked about technology, the earlier person talked about technology, Wi-Fi, you know, internet hai and stuff like that. So my take is that whether I like watching cinema. I have been brought up and studied cinema and going to theaters and stuff like that. But technology is getting different, you know? So I don't know if multiplexes would remain multiplexes in 10 years time. So that's my although I would hate single theaters abhi nahi hai, almost nahi hai, you know. So we have been brought up in single theaters. So that's my, whether we like it or not, a certain amount of digitization is bound to happen, and I see OTT in that context because पूरा लाइफ अपना ऑनलाइन होने जा रहा है ना। सो ये है, आपका रिकॉर्ड्स रखना है वो भी ऑनलाइन होने वाला है ना। रिकॉर्ड्स जो है, I mean, you go to the court today, na, court ka record sab they insist that they digitize it and all those things. So that's what my feel is here. Although I would love a mixture of both of these things. Iska सुविधा है, OTT का सुविधा है, but disadvantage भी है. So that's my take on that. But my take doesn't matter. What matters is your take and the logic of your take. हाँ, ठीक है? चलो, let's go for the
Yes,
last question.
सर एक्चुअली इसमें मैं समझ नहीं पाई कि मैं इसको एक्सपैंड कैसे करूं, इसलिए मैंने इसको बहुत मतलब मैं वर्ड लिमिट मैच नहीं कर पाई।
नहीं, कोई नहीं,
टेलीविजन इज अ medium of close-up. Discuss the statement with relevant example. A close-up is a type of shot that tightly frames a person or object. It is one of the most powerful visual weapon for highlighting a change in emotion or dramatic beat on screen. Close-ups are most often arranged at eye level, better to dig into the windows of the soul of the character. Here we have a front row seat for a character's thoughts and feelings. If we talk about the television, including daily soaps, reality shows, stand-up comedy or talk shows, performers and the characters become very much familiar to the audience, where they normally discuss that this should not have happened with that particular character, or this should do this, or this character should do this instead of this, etc., which normally does not take place in the films at this level because audience is connected with that television on daily basis. The use of close-ups in television helps to connect with audience more. That is why the close-ups are the most used shots in the TV. That emotions of the characters and the mood of the scene is closely depicted through close-ups to the audience, which results in the audience being so much into them. Daily soaps are the ones which engages the audience more than other shows. For example, the characters of Jethalal, Daya, Champak Chacha, Bhide, etc. from TNKOC are so much familiar today that we know them as their screen name only.
Yeah, so आपने एक बेसिक पॉइंट जो पकड़ा है सही पकड़ा है ना। तो आपने क्लोजअप्स और इसको ऑडियंस का इन्वॉल्वमेंट के बारे में कनेक्शन किया है, which I think which is a
Yes, sir.
fair enough connection. What probably was probably missing is like आपने तो एग्जांपल्स तो दिया है जेठालाल वगैरह वगैरह,
हाँ,
बट एक कॉन्क्रीट एग्जांपल
जी,
अगर देते हैं ना, कॉन्क्रीट एग्जांपल अगर देते हैं,
हाँ,
फॉर एग्जांपल एक आई डोंट नो इफ हमारा जनरेशन में एक सीरियल आया था क्योंकि सास की बहू थी का दूसरा वर्जन, दूसरा कॉम्पिटिटर था।
हाँ,
तो क्या नाम है, राम कपूर था उसमें और वो दूसरा लेडी थी, स्मृति ईरानी का एक कॉम्पिटिटर थी, वो थी उसमें। उसमें क्या किया, दोनों ने फर्स्ट टाइम और एक बोल्डली किसिंग सीन किया था, एंड किसिंग सीन वाज इन क्लोजअप, है ना। पूरा दुनिया
बड़े
भर
अच्छे
में,
लगते हैं,
हाँ,
अच्छा,
विच वन,
बड़े अच्छे लगते हैं।
बड़े
ऐसे
अच्छे
ऐसे
लगते
ऐसे
हैं।
कुछ है, ऐसे कुछ है। वो बड़ा क्लोजअप में दिखाया था, पहली बार क्लोजअप में टेलीविजन में वो किसिंग सीन दिखाया था। पूरा दुनिया भर में, दुनिया क्या इंडिया में चर्चा हो रही है, एंड है ना, दैट्स बिकॉज ऑफ द that kind of that level of not that example, that level of example अगर आप देते है ना, पूरा इंडिया भर में चर्चा हो रहा है ना,
हाँ,
इंडिया भर में चर्चा हो रही है वो चीज़। और
अच्छा,
that is probably because we are seeing that
हाँ,
in close up, that's probably because we are seeing वो उस लेवल की
हाँ,
एग्जांपल देते हैं ना, और अच्छा होता है ना। ठीक है,
yes sir,
या
yes sir,
अनन्या, we'll go for the next Ananya.
thank you sir.
Yeah, sir, 1 second. हाँ,
So, sir, am I audible?
Absolutely. You start with the answers
Yeah.
only.
Yeah. So the documentary I would like to make is Indian classical dance in modern times. I would give the history of Indian classical dance, starting from the mythological stories of Shiva passing down the dance form to Bharata Muni, then give a brief about the book called Natya Shastra, a book revered by Indian classical dancers and theatrists. I would shed light on the Devidasi tradition and how Rukmani Devi Arundale, the founder of Kalakshetra, freed Bharatnatyam and the Devidasi tradition as being labeled as prostitution by the Britishers. This documentary is of dire need because people of current times are aware of such dance forms through theater and social media, but they are unaware of the cultural roots and the hardship people had to go through during that time and the present. The audience are unaware that what the current generation dancers go through, not only financially but also physically and mentally. I will make this documentary by showing videos of temples with some voiceover, insert video clippings of professional dancers dancing for hours. The statement I want to make through this documentary is preservation of our cultural roots in changing modern times. I want to make this statement because the current generation is all about attention span. How long one can actually hold on to their attention. That's where we as classical dancers strive to create and curate pieces which not only adhere to traditional roots but are also modern and appeases to the taste of the current generation. The first point I would like to include in the documentary is about the number of classical dancers we have in India, and those are Bharatnatyam, Kuchipudi, Kathak, Mohiniyattam, Kshatriya, Odissi, and so on. The second point I would like to add is the interviews of the previous generation dancers versus the interviews of the present generation dancers in order for the audience to evaluate the change in the thought process because of generational gap. The last point is how much Indian dancers earn through their art form and what is their future in terms of finance. I would love to interview Amrita Lahiri, a renowned Kuchipudi dancer of my generation. I would ask her how long and which techniques she practiced when she was a young artist versus how long and what techniques she uses as an experienced artist. The second question is how did she dance after eight? How did she dance? How did dance help her or something grammatical error after 8 months on stage after a dear member of her family passed away recently? I would love to interview Bijayani Satpathy, a famous Odissi performer. I would ask her what was it like when she left home and joined the Gurukul system to take dancing as her profession. I would ask her how does she give impeccable performances despite the fact that she is more than 50 years old. I would ask her this question because age plays a big role in dancing.
Yeah. This is you've gone into details. The intention is very clear. In fact, I can see some structure also worked out, and there are characters like as you spoke about. The theme of the film would be one of the points that you're talking about is present generation and previous generation. You know, what are the
Yeah.
changes? So you're accordingly you've taken Amrita Lahari, which is I think the present generation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and accordingly you have taken
Bijayani Satpathy, yeah.
Yes, Satpathy. So in that sense, the form and content would match.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah. So I would also this is a fair enough. It's what 500 words. What is it?
Yeah, sir. 500 around.
Yeah,
500,
it's a fair enough proposal. I get a fair idea of what the film is about. What I don't get is what are the visuals. You know, you have.
Okay, visuals. Okay.
So what are we going to see of Amrita Lahari?
I should have put like some video clippings of her interviews.
Not necessarily. You could have
Okay.
you could have told that I'm going to shoot her rehearsing.
Okay. That I missed out.
Those kinds of things. You know.
Mhm.
So when you're featuring Amrita Lahari, you're not only featuring her interviews, but you're also featuring her
Performances.
performances,
Yeah.
and rehearsals and her life at home, and she's
Mhm.
dealing with some issues, and she's
Yeah, sir.
maybe boiling her milk or making
Yeah,
tea
yeah.
or whatever, I don't know. You know?
Yeah.
So little bit hint of what the visual of the
Mhm.
documentary would have
Yeah.
added to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go for the next one.
Yeah, sir. With examples, state the importance of surprise and suspense in a storytelling. Let me explain the word suspense first. Suspense means something that we don't know, but we anticipate it. Suspense is a kind of adrenaline which the audience feels before some event, situation, or person is revealed. For example, in the movie Tumbar, the young protagonist is given the responsibility to feed his grandmother, who happens to be cursed. She calls to him eerily. He goes as slowly as possible through the dark passage. This scene creates suspense because we as audience don't know what is about to happen to him after he reaches his grandmother. Usually, suspense is used in a lot of horror films. Another example is a film called Raz 1, where Vipasha Basu is haunted by the evil force in the house, but we as audience don't know who that evil force is and what's its intention. That is suspense, something which keeps us at the edge of our seats but does not reveal much so as to what's about to come. Surprise is something we anticipate after suspense. It is because of surprise we go through or enjoy suspense. But the surprise should be good enough, otherwise, any piece of literature or film falls flat or dull. In the movie Shutter Island, the biggest surprise or plot twist is when the protagonist comes to know that he's mentally unstable and he has created a story about the hospital in his mind because he's unable to accept the fact that he has killed his wife and his deranged wife has killed his children. These death scenes were shown at the end of the film, which indeed comes as a surprise. Surprise can also be a plot twist. In the movie Fight Club, when we come to know that Tyler Durden and the narrator of the film are the same person, this comes off as a surprise or a plot twist.
Yeah, this is a fair enough write-up. So except that I would like to know who is Tyler Durden. Yeah.
Ha,
So I might not have seen Fight Club.
Okay.
Tyler Durden. Who's this guy?
So Tyler Durden is basically the protagonist. Actually, yeah, he's the protagonist, the narrator. As in, Tyler Durden is a split personality. I should have mentioned it. Actually, we
correct.
show, yeah, that I didn't write. So I was in a hurry.
Otherwise, this is perfect. Perfect, you know,
Yeah.
not. It is fair enough, you know. I'll not say
Okay.
perfect, but fair
Yeah.
enough, you know.
Yeah, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Good. This is good.
Good.
Explanation.
Yeah.
I get to know if I don't know what is suspense and what is surprise.
Hmm.
I read this, I get some idea of what it is.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
OTT is the future of entertainment. Okay. I don't agree with the statement that OTT is the future of the entertainment industry because a movie theater has the ability to pull the audience into the film without any distractions, whereas a phone, laptop, or TV screen gives us the same content, but the way we as audience experience it is way different the way we experience in a movie hall. With the upcoming aspect ratios like IMAX and IMAX ICE, people are more enthralled to have a more immersive experience as compared to OTT platforms. So, it's actually a matter of preference for the audience, but as far as I have observed, people are more willing to experience cinema in movie theaters. People who are cinephiles like I will always go to a theater versus audience who wants to consume content for entertainment. People need to wait for the same content if they are willing to watch it on any OTT platform. Whereas if people go to theaters, they can see the film as soon as it's released. In this way, the audience can experience cinema content very soon as compared to OTT platforms. Fourth, in terms of subscription, one will say that they only want to watch one film and not take subscription for the entire month or year. That's how OTT platforms operate. Hence, in order to save money, one can always go to a movie theater. OTT will always be a part of everyone's life because it is handy and one can consume content as per their convenience, but it will never take away or replace traditional cinema halls.
I wish this happens. Huh? No, see, this is, I mean, I don't know how much subscription these days, Indian subscription, you go to a movie theater, you spend so much money, you know, I'm not sure about this. I'm not sure about the reality of this, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes for an entire month subscription, you can watch so many movies, you know? Good, bad, or ugly, and that you might, I mean, going to a movie theater might be costly if you consider the travel, the tickets, the popcorns.
So this is wrong.
And, otherwise it's a well thought of kind of a thing.
Yeah. Sir, I have a doubt in this fourth question. Sir, actually, I don't watch TV only, like serials and all that. So I had no idea about television as a medium of close-up. So can you, sir, explain a little bit like what exactly like
This is basically the last two write-ups that have been there. Because of the proximity of the television to the family, and because of the size of the screen, certain image sizes won't work. Yeah.
Sir, I have a doubt regarding this. I thought of writing about the aspect ratio that 4:3, but sir, over time वो तो change हो गया ना sir. 4:3 पहले पुराने TVs आते थे.
The aspect ratio is different, and the size of the screen is different. Aspect ratio is the length and breadth of the screen. It could be 16 mm, 16 by 9, or on a wide screen, but the screen might be very small.
Okay.
So I'm talking about the screen size. And
Screen size.
the earlier guys who have written it have also spoken about it. Two aspects to it. One is the screen size. Screen size demands, the lesser the size of it, it demands that लॉन्ग शॉट में स्क्रीन, बड़ा स्क्रीन में एक लॉन्ग शॉट में एक ब्लू आदमी लेडी जा रही है उधर, and it can be visible, clearly visible, है ना. So in a small screen it might not be visible. How does it affect the communication process? एक तो वो आपको ये डील करना है. Second डील करना है आप फैमिली, आप there are lights here, है ना. You need to go to the kitchen. You need, आपको फोन कॉल आ रहा है and stuff like that. उस सब में attention span जो है, somebody spoke about the attention span. Attention span आपका very little है, बहुत कम है आज की दुनिया में. Does usage of close up also try and grab your attention? Is it
Yeah,
a part
sir.
of the वो सब थोड़ा सा डिस्कस करना पड़ेगा. I suggest that you I mean it's the same. You watch a television, you watch something on OTT platform. It's the same, and you could write about this.
Yeah.
It could well be television/OTT platform is a medium of close up. It could well have been that. है ना?
Understandable. Sir, I have a doubt, sir. Can you give some examples of some directors who make experimental film? I forgot to write it last time.
Norman McLaren I talked about last
हाँ,
time.
normal, yeah.
Immediately, Maya Daren is a filmmaker. I think you should be watching her films.
Maya Karen.
Daren, Daren. Maya Daren.
Maya Karen.
Offhand, I can think of her. She is the most. You should watch a movie maker called Louis Buñuel.
Louis Buñuel.
Salvador Dali and Louis Buñuel have made some films, earlier short films, and then Louis Buñuel himself has made some highly experimental films.
Okay.
There are a lot of them. If you can Google.
Sir, 3 is enough.
Pardon?
Sir, 3 is enough, sir. It's a lot.
So could you repeat the name of the last one?
Louis Buñuel, Louis Buñuel, Bunuel, I think. Spanish. He was a Spanish filmmaker.
Okay.
Especially see his first film. You just Google first film; it's available on the net. So we have one more. I'll stop sharing the screen, and I think there is one more person who has Manya, right? Is Manya there? Manya is there, na?
Hello.
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 Is it Manya? Manya.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have also sent in your thing, na?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Can you narrate? Can you, yeah.
There's something network problem. Just give me a minute. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Can you switch on your video? Is it possible?
I cannot hear you.
Can you switch on your video? Is it possible?
Hello.
Yeah, you can read what. Are you seeing something on your screen?
No, sir. I cannot see anything. There's something wrong with the network. Again.
Oh, okay.
Just a minute.
Can the others see the screen share?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think Manya, your network is an issue. So I don't know how to. If you are able to see, please read out. If not, we'll take some questions. We still have some 5 minutes left.
I can barely hear you.
Yeah, so we can't basically comment.
Happening again.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry.
Yeah, okay. If there is any, so we'll not do that because there are network issues that Manya is facing. Any other questions that you have? I think all of you should be looking at what television and OTT platforms. You should do some more research on that. Means to you, and what does it mean to the medium, and what is the future and stuff like that.
Sir, any source to study documentaries from? For example, I was particularly more confused in the documentary question because I wasn't sure about how to get at it and what should be the structure of a documentary, because we have watched multitude of films, but not documentaries in general.
Okay, so documentary, the best part about documentary is that there is no, in fiction film, you have a particular structure by and large. In Hollywood structure, there's a beginning, middle, and end, and all those things. There's a dramatic narrative structure on that. You're bound by that structure, unless you are from someone like Manikal or Kumar Sani or any of these experimental filmmakers. But in a documentary, you don't have any. It's entirely up to you how do you structure it. Entirely up to you. If you're looking for material to read, there's a guy called Bill Nichols. You know, he's written a book called The Theory of Documentary or something like that. He talks about the 6 modes of documentary. You know what a mode is? A dress mode is you can wear a sari or you can wear a salwar kameez. A sari is a different mode. A salwar kameez is a different mode of dressing. A lungi is a
Modes of
different
expression.
modes of expression, modes of art. So there are 6. He defines. Bill Nichols defines. There are 6. By and large, there are 6 modes of documentaries. There are 6 ways in which you styles of documentary. So if you look at his book, I think it's called The Theory of Documentary. It's called The Introduction to Documentary. It's a very it has a lot of pages. But if you look at to begin with, if you can look at the chapter, the modes of documentary, you'll get a fair idea of the kind of documentaries and possibilities are there in documentaries.
Sure, sir.
Bill Nichols is what.
Yes, sir. I wrote him down.
Yeah. So basically, the normal documentaries that we see today is like commentary driven and stuff like that. But he goes beyond that. He goes like there are documentaries which don't have commentaries at all. That what is happening in front of the camera is happening live in front of the camera. For example, this girl, psychiatry, the previous documentary proposal that we heard about this lady who expectations, she harmed her own life. So that is something that has already happened. That is an event that has already happened. So there are documentaries where we see events that are happening right in front of you, observatory documentaries. And then there are documentaries that the filmmaker is there in the body of the film. There are documentaries that talk about the language of filmmaking itself. So there are 6 modes of documentary that he talked about, and you could do well to read those.
And sir, while making personal, expressing personal remarks and giving statements, will there be a dilemma of the right and left kind of thing, the libertarian versus conservative issue? How far along a spectrum we are allowed to go in an answer?
See, there is again, it depends on how far you are willing to go. If you have a point of view, if you want that the point of view has to be heard, you would make sure that that point of view is heard.
It must come through nicely, basically.
Yes, it should come across nicely. But yeah, if you play it safe, then it shows the kind of personality that you are. Either way, you're judged. Either way, my answer, you would judge my answer right now. Right, whatever I'm saying, you would judge me by the you would judge my politics, through my answers. I would say if you have a point of view, make sure that it comes across. That's my personal kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And
Yes, sir. Thanks, sir.
if you find someone who is like anti you, and then he or she has just against that point of view, then it's my bad luck. But I would in life go about expressing my views in a manner that is acceptable, in a language that is acceptable.
Yes, sir. I got the point. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And that's also my personal take on that. I wouldn't mind a different point of view coming from a student or from anyone, unless it doesn't kill me. Yeah, is it cool? Shall we call it a day? Hello.
Yes, sir. And sir, yes, sir. And sir, I sort of have a proposal, and if you may like it, that you may actually give us the best answers for the questions, as in who wrote the best answer, so we can actually utilize the structure of it to learn better. For example, in the first question, I really liked Ananya's answer, and in general, there were diverse people giving better answers to questions. So you can give your personal take on which answer dissected the question the best, so that we can learn from those answers particularly.
Yeah,
If you could from the next session.
yeah. So I can't do that right now offhand, but yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that, and I can send it
Yes, sir.
across to, or if I'm there in the, see, next, I think by and large next session somebody else will come, Ranjan will come, you know. So if I come back again,
Okay, sir.
I'll be saving it online. Otherwise, I'll send it to Craft. I'll usually, you know, sort it. I'll send it across.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. I'll end the session. Bye
Thank you,
bye.
sir.
Bye bye.
Yes, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night.
Good night, sir. Good night, sir.